What's going on, you guys? Jason in front of the camera here. This is my Sony clock radio, Sony Dream Machine. And it's the model ICF-490. And what I liked about these clock radios is they came with really, really large numbers. And this one was having a problem with the FM. When you would tune FM stations, they were drifting. And I didn't mess around with any of the settings on here. I cleaned the FM tuner on here. I cleaned all the controls and I cleaned all the switches. And this is what the circuit board looks like in a clock radio. Nice, large, full-size speaker. You know, you're not going to find that on any other clock radio. They really, really do a really good job with the engineering. I mean, all new capacitors and caps. There's nothing wrong with the caps. Everything is brand new. And you know how I am about my circuit boards. Now I'm going to say this on my video. Recapping any kind of electronics doesn't always solve the problem. I'm going to say you have to do proper troubleshooting, diagnostics, and repair, and really learn to pinpoint the problem. Don't automatically assume, well, I'm going to change all my capacitors, and that's going to solve a problem. If you have a radio that comes in and needs repair and is dead, and the radio doesn't turn on, there's no power, that is not the case at all. It could be a number of things. It could be a shorted electrolytic. It can be a bad power supply. And I have this plugged into a drop-in transformer, and it regulates electricity safely. And I'm in my shop here, working on my workbench. If you notice on this clock radio, this is the original clock radio that I bought brand new. The display, if you see how bright those green numbers are, there's nothing faded there. You know, and these are getting very, very hard to come by. Now, normally I like old vintage clock radios from General Electric, Motorola. But this is what the inside of a clock radio looks like. This is to show you that the radio is working. Now, when I tune the radio, it's working really, really good now. It's not drifting. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. And it's not drifting. It had dirty controls is what it's always the dirty controls that affect the performance. And there is a trick I learned on old vintage radios. If you have those tuning plates, you can run a piece of paper between them and it gets all the dirt out. And I learned that from another previous video. But I want to tell everyone, when you're working with any electronics, safety in mind. You know, try to eyeball anything, visualize anything that you may see that you haven't noticed. And if something seems out of the ordinary, troubleshoot it. You know, it takes a lot of years of experience. You either had to be working with this stuff or you had to know what you were doing. You know, clock radios are getting very, very hard to come by. And I tell you, I have a few Sony clock radios. And this one did not seem right. The FM was not working. Now I'll let you hear it on the AM band if I can find the switch. And it works really, really, really well. So this is my Sony Dream Machine clock radio. And just wanted to show you what an inside of a clock radio looks like. I repaired this one. I was having a problem with the FM and the tuning. It was way off. It was drifting, you know. And I solved the problem by figuring out what really was wrong with it. It wasn't out of alignment. Like some FM tuners can become out of alignment, you know, like working on the old tube radios. And I pinpointed the problem to right here. There was dirt on the metal plates in there, and there was dirt causing them not to work correctly and affecting how it was locking onto the station. And I pretty much know where it's set by looking at the screws there and the adjustment screws, and you know. So hope you got something out of this video. We're going to post more videos. More to come later.